The news spread through the community like wildfire. It was a story that nobody could have predicted. Abelhamid Al-Madioum, a young man from Minnesota, had joined ISIS. He left behind his family, his friends, and his entire life in the United States. The people who knew him were shocked. How could this quiet, seemingly ordinary boy become entangled with a terrorist organization? What could lead someone down such a dangerous path? The story of Abelhamid Al-Madioum is a stark reminder of the powerful and often hidden allure of extremism. It is a story about the search for identity, belonging, and purpose in a world that can often feel isolating and confusing. Al-Madioum's journey from the suburbs of Minnesota to the battlefields of Syria is a chilling example of the global reach of extremist ideologies. It is a story that forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about the vulnerabilities of our youth and the insidious nature of radicalization. In the wake of his arrest and sentencing, questions linger about how a young man with seemingly limitless potential could become so deeply entangled in the web of hate and violence spun by ISIS. His story is a stark reminder of the importance of understanding the factors that contribute to extremism and the need for effective interventions to prevent future tragedies. Al-Madioum's story is not unique. Across the United States and around the world, young people are being drawn to extremist groups. They are lured by a sense of belonging, purpose, and adventure. They are manipulated by sophisticated propaganda that preys on their fears and insecurities. These groups offer a distorted view of the world, one in which violence is glorified and hatred is encouraged. To understand how someone like Al-Madioum could be radicalized, we must be willing to delve into the complex interplay of personal, social, and ideological factors that contribute to extremism. It is easy to dismiss individuals like Al-Madioum as monsters or psychopaths, but doing so ignores the deeper systemic issues at play. We must ask ourselves what kind of society pushes its most vulnerable members to the fringes, leaving them susceptible to the siren song of radicalization. Al-Madioum's story is a wake-up call, a plea for understanding, and a call to action. It is a reminder that we must remain vigilant in our efforts to combat extremism in all its forms, and to create a world where young people feel hope, purpose, and a sense of belonging in their own communities. Only then can we hope to prevent tragedies like Al-Madioum's from happening again. Abelhamid Al-Madioum was born and raised in Minnesota. He was a quiet boy, often described as shy and introverted. He grew up in a loving Muslim family. His upbringing was relatively normal. His family attended the local mosque regularly, where he learned about Islam and the importance of community. He went to public school, where he was an average student. He enjoyed playing video games and spending time with his siblings. There were no outward signs of extremism or radical beliefs. However, beneath the surface, Al-Madioum was a troubled youth. He struggled to fit in at school. He was bullied for his religion and his appearance. He felt like an outsider, caught between two worlds. He began to withdraw from his family and friends. He spent more and more time online, where he could escape the realities of his life. The internet became his refuge, a place where he could be anonymous, explore his identity, and connect with others who shared his feelings of alienation and anger. It was online that Al-Madioum first encountered extremist propaganda. He stumbled upon websites and social media groups that promoted a distorted and hateful ideology. These online spaces offered him a sense of belonging and purpose that he craved. He was drawn in by the message of hate and violence. The online world provided a platform for his anger and frustration to fester and grow. The internet, once a source of escape and connection, became a breeding ground for Al-Madioum's descent into extremism. The anonymity of the online world emboldened him, allowing him to express views he would never dare to voice in person. He began to engage in online forums, debating and defending the ideologies he was being exposed to. The lines between the virtual and real world blurred, and the poisonous ideology he consumed online began to seep into his offline life. Abelhamid Al-Madioum's journey to ISIS began with a family vacation to Morocco. Unbeknownst to his family, he had other plans. From Morocco, he made his way to Turkey and eventually crossed into Syria. There, he joined the ranks of ISIS, drawn by their promises and perhaps searching for a sense of belonging. The impact of Abelhamid's decision reverberated far beyond his own life. His family was left in disbelief, struggling with the harsh reality of his actions. The community back in Minnesota was also shaken, as they grappled with the broader implications of radicalization and the vulnerabilities within their own ranks. Today, Abelhamid Al-Madioum's future remains uncertain. After being captured in Syria and extradited back to the United States, he now faces the consequences of his actions. Rehabilitation and reintegration pose significant challenges, not just for him, but for the society that must now decide how to move forward from this.